Hello Tubesters, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. I'm sorry it's the impromptu desk setup, although with my my great new camera stand, it's a lot more safer. I finally able to get some airbrushing done today. There's a whole mass of figures that needed varnishing, and I wanted to get at least the 15mm tanks that I'd got in some form of progression. And this is mainly that video. I haven't primered my 1 in 25 car yet. I'll be doing that on Thursday, and there's a couple of other bits I wanted to put some primer on. But I thought I'd give you a look to see how far we've got. These two were gifted to me in a box set by my Mara Beetle. So I finally got their Beetle. We'll just have a look at this. Is just I haven't primed this. I've used lacquer directly on top of the plastic because it tends to give a primer. It's not like I'm priming a model car or anything. So obviously it's King Tiger. The crew figure, the commander, as again I've not gone for opening any of this up. I've got plenty of tanks in that box set to have a deeper dive into. I did that using Oshimuru, the blue stuff. In fact, some of it you can still see a bit of green stuff underneath there, which will need to have a bit of primer on. I actually, rather than waste all the figures in the box, I thought I'd have a go at casting them without that, because I'm not selling these, so it doesn't matter. Just to see if I could get the commanders actually to make the commanders go further, if that makes sense. I did about 3. 2 were a bit indistinct, to say the least. I've never used that stuff before. I just had it in my stores box for ages and ages, and I thought, well, I might as well give it a go. And it seemed to work on that guy. Let's face it, he's only poking his head out the top of the tank, so it wasn't too hard for me to stuff it up. So this is like it's supposed to be like a black brown, although it tends to come out more looking like a grey colour. But that's got to have. I haven't got any Dunkelgelb or anything, so I'll be probably mixing my own up. But all on this one, all I've done is I've cut up a couple of the side skirts in places just to show a bit of a difference, like front and back there. I chobbled away at these to make sure they're bent a bit. This is going to be like late war Germany or Hungary. Might do Hungary. Oh, let's see, I've not put any magnetise on anything. Put a couple of rounds strikes hitting the sides and the front glacis plate, as you can see there. But apart from that, there's no there's no real work being done to it. Again, I've took my burring tools and just cleared the front, making it look a bit bent. But that's that. I've seen some 3D printed figures which I might add on to the back of this. Might make it I believe the King Tigers were at trying to relieve the siege of Budapest. Got the ubiquitous bucket on the back that they give you. Bit of plastic showing through there. I knew there would be, but at 15mm, I haven't got the airbrush skills at the moment to make it. Although the size of that box, I will do by the time I've finished. So yeah, he's not had much done. This one's got a fair bit more, or at least exterior, done, as you might have remembered. I made up my own green stuff camo nets. At this scale they work. I don't think they'd work because of the netting. I don't think they'd work at a larger scale, but they do at 15mm. And I made a towing rope through that on the top because that's what I'd seen on a Comet in late war. Again, as you probably remember from the last one, wrapped it round the turret. Well, it's being put round the front of the turret again. From what I could see on a couple of examples of black and white photos from the war. These were only in the last 3-4 months of the war, I believe. But it's all done in lacquer paint, these, and the room's stinking for it at the moment. I do sometimes paint these, and the King Tiger may well be painted in acrylics. Just depends what I've got on hand. I had actually got a British colour, and then I just used a faded olive drab just to give it a bit of, well, obviously a faded look. They shouldn't be too faded really, just because obviously they were such late war entries. As you remember, I had a go at making my own brain gun. Not massively successful, but again, I'd seen another comet. A lot of the crews seem to have salvaged whatever they could for anti-infantry, and I'd seen some, as I said, with a twin Vickers, you know, like the ones you have on the Jeeps, but they've got a twin Vickers gun on a pole that had been welded. But I didn't know my skills at making the twin Vickers machine gun, so I'd seen another one where they'd put a small bit of rolled up tarp to stop the bipods banging about, and they'd put a Bren gun on top that they've obviously scavved off the battlefield. These look a bit bendy because they are, some of these I've again done in green stuff using the blue stuff, the Yoshimuru stuff. So they are they're not as crisp as the originals. I'll show you in a minute, in fact I'll show you now where I can think about it. I'll put that down, Gav. So let's get down, move back slightly, can't move much further, but this is such a handy stand. Right, we're a bit closer in now. I had a go at still using the blue stuff, but I bought, let's get it out here, I bought this jewellery, just one of the trial ones, because that's all I need. I don't need a huge amount. I think it's about £3.50 with the postage off eBay, some Chinese stuff. But that's UV cured resin for jewellery making, and the only thing I went wrong with it was these are too shallow, which is why I won't use these. But you need a UV pen really. I suppose if you kept them out on your windowsill they'd go off, but again you can buy them UV pens really cheap. I happen to have a UV lamp for the 3D printing, and yes, I know I can 3D print as well, but I really enjoy I will use 3D printed bits of my own or somebody else's, but I really like making my own stuff where possible. And yes, I know I didn't make these, you know, I'll just recast them, but again I'm not reselling it, so it's only for me. But as you can see, they're fairly thin, and that's because I didn't, obviously you push it upside down like that and then push it into your blue stuff. Once it's soft, you put blue stuff in like hot water, and it goes soft, and then you make your imprint, and you can make double, you know, you can put this whole figure in if you're clever enough. I'd have to do a lot of practice to get a whole figure like that looking anywhere decent. But yeah, that's what this here is, actually green stuff. We got actually, might be easier. This has actually been done in green stuff, and as I say, it's not as sharp as some of the plastic ones that come with a kit. But I wanted a lot more. The couple of comets I was looking at, the crew would obviously use some as toolboxes or stowage boxes for their different gear, and they'd obviously used a lot more as for putting ammunition on the back. I can only presume that like he's in an overwatch position, and you know, they don't think stowing the ammo on the back is going to be a problem. I mean, I had seen it on a few vehicles, Comets and other vehicles in the British Army in France and up through the Low Countries into Germany. So yeah, obviously I made my own tarps again out of really thinned up green stuff. I do sometimes make them out of silver foil. The only problem with there is it conforms nicely and all the rest of it, but it can you know, if you miss a bit, you can have that bright bit of like foil shining through. So yeah, I made a lot of those. I duplicated a lot of those, which is they are slightly rounded and that they're not as crisp as they should be, as you can see on that one there. But this was my first one. It was a learning curve. So yeah, I think that's about it. Did I do anything else on those? I think I might have opened up. I don't know if they were open already, but the D shackles or the U shackles. To get some of this fluff away afterwards. I can't remember if they were on and I made them myself or what, but yeah, so that's that one. Now the other one was look like a right charity case here, but this was gifted to me by my mate Rob. There's also comments on the channel, like Beetle. And this is a Plastic Soldier Company 15mm Model E Tiger, which are my favourites. Now I've been painting some figures afterwards, and I needed some orange brown type paint, and I had a load left. I squeezed too much out, and I thought, well, I'll put it on the tracks of this Tiger. I always start it off in these and then change colours around a bit. Not thinking, I should say with this, I've made my own mix-up again with lacquer paint to get myself a rough Dunkelgelb look, and it is rough, I understand. It's done on the same base coat as this, so it gives me a lot of shadow areas. But the idea with this one is it's going to be used for a Kharkov, little Kharkov, if you call it Dio and that, I'm not sure. But I am struggling finding figures, and I've tried sculpting my own, and I really am ham-fisted, you know. I don't practice it enough to be any good. But I'd like to do some Kharkov, like Waffen SS in their well-known Parkers, but we'll see. So yeah, this one's, you could have them open or shut, so I've had them open. As you know, sometimes I will cut make my own hatches if I have to cut them out. But my idea is I'm going to put some hairspray on this tomorrow, let it go off, and then when I'm painting the car on the end of the painting session on the car, I will get some white and paint it over and look to make it whitewashed, and obviously we'll have some snow effects or whatever I decide in these wheels, and you know, in the crevices. And you know, the one thing I'd gone wrong with this was I turned again, just a bit of home done stuff. I'd seen some Tigers that were going up to the front, although it wasn't in the winter. It was obviously you know, before the winter, and they'd folded up the front and back, I presume, to get the mud clogging in. And I thought, well, they'd do that with the snow as well, so I'll have a go at that. So I just scored it and pushed it up at the front, which is great, and totally forgot to do the back. So this tank is literally, I mean, Totenkampf came in. This is going to be a Totenkampf, or attached to Totenkampf Tiger, and they did come to Kharkov, third back Kharkov, later slightly, so or in dribs and drabs. So you know, this is fresh from workshops or right off the train depot yard, and you know, it's completely fresh. And I wanted that effect. It's got, you know, sometimes, like a lot of us, I'll put little holes in the exhaust shrouds here, and you know, all the different paraphernalia. And I didn't want anything on this one. As you can see, the crew are in that same base coat because I just did the lot. Again, these haven't been changed. They are what come with the Plastic Soldier Company crew. And here's the turret. As I say, nothing's been. You get different options, as I showed you on this when I unboxed them. But I'm thinking, yes, it's not absolutely correct Dunkelgelb, but it would have got tarnished and worn. Yes, I'm saying this is come shoot myself in the foot because I'm saying this is coming from the fresh tank coming from depot, so it probably would be, you know, it would be fairly brighter. But I am covered it in whitewash, and I'm still going to wear some of the whitewash away so I can show some of the Dunkelgelb through. I'm shooting myself in the foot really, but I just believe that, especially when your Tiger tank's firing from long range, its first battles might not necessarily mean that it's, you know, it's going to get any damage whatsoever. Yes, I agree. Well, on the mild steel areas, it might well pick up dings and stuff from shell barrages and whatever, artillery barrages. But this one I just wanted to do because I knock them about and bang them up so much. I just wanted to do one that was literally fairly fresh, and that's what I've achieved there. The only thing is I've got all the hatches open and only 3 crew, because I think that's what it come to. So I'm going to have to, try and I've got other bits of crew knocking around, so I might well try and do another one, or even maybe even out of that see-through resin stuff. But yeah, so Rob, thanks a lot for that. It's finally getting us sorted. I've actually got another vehicle, which I actually bought myself. Whoa, you actually got one, Gav? You bought one yourself? Yeah, I did actually. And no, I've put the bag in. It's actually in a bag, which is it's the half track, which I did show on an unboxing, and I went to cut those up. So I've got some half tracks to put on. I might put 1 or 2 on, because if you see some of the famous photographs, or if they're taken from newsreels, Deutsche Wochenschau, I think it's pronounced. They, you can see them. My problem is, as I say, is I haven't got guys in parkers, or even, I mean, there's this famous Totem Conf photographs. Remember the Commander? You'll see him. He's on loads of stuff. He's a bit like that MG gunner in the Battle of the Bulge photographs. He's got like I think he's got a sheepskin, half a sheepskin, like body warmer on or something. I'm not sure, but he's got his fag in one hand, and he's looking quite tired and quite alarmed up the street. And I think he got a Mark IV Panzer. I'm not sure. I don't think it's one of the heavy guys, but some guys were, especially in the tanks, because obviously getting in and out of them as well. They weren't always in parkers, but a lot of the Panzer Grenadiers they were. So that's a bit of a stumbling block, because I'm going to either have to find some plastic figures that I then file literally everything off to try and make some parkers, and then I've got to remake all the webbing and stuff. So it's a bit of a task, that. So I've seen, as I say, there's Battle Honours do some lovely Battle Honours 3D or something. They do some, I saw them today, they do some very nice 15mm different figures, like some lovely late war British as well, might do nicely for this comic. And I suppose they'll expand the range, but they, at the moment, although they do some Waffen SS figures with the helmet covers and all that, they don't do the parkers. So yeah, as I say, these aren't for games. These are, I love these little 15mm tanks. I like the 1-in-72s and stuff as well, but the 15mm, that they don't take a lot of room up, unless you've got a big box of them, of course. And they're a lot of fun just to mess around with. To add bits on and stuff, and just get a bit creative with them. And they're forgiving as a scale. You've got to take your mind off that. I mean, they still put track sag in and stuff. But that you have to, obviously they're a bit more simplistic in places, but I still think that these days, because they're all like, a lot of these are obviously, they're all CAD made now. I mean, you look at this Plastic Soldier Company turret. I mean, it's really nice. There's some loads of detail. And again, people say, oh well, it's heavy detail, but it is supposed to be a wargaming piece, and it is 15mm. So yeah. So next time you see this one, it'll be whitewashed to greater or lesser extent, and I don't want to make it completely white, but hopefully bits of Dunkelgelb-ish will show through. It doesn't matter that I put the brown on that, because I can, either repaint or whatever. I just got a bit over, trying to use. I hate having paint on the wet palette that I know I'm not going to use for a while, and it's going to be no good. So that's going to be on the go. The King Tiger won't be. He'll go back in the box now until I've got the Comet and the Plastic Soldier Company Tiger done, only because they are at a stage that can be worked on. I don't want to keep messing around with the paint. So thank you very much. So I'm moving stuff around. I'm forgetting right on the edge of the desk again. Got a load of Bavarians under here. They're not particularly you can't see them. It's a secret. It's just to keep all the crud off them. But I'm getting along with the old Lanch Connects, and we're getting along with the old. Still working on the face. I was doing that when I finished painting all the one spraying all the varnish. But yeah, he's work in progress. There's loads of work in progresses at the moment. So, hopefully the car will be a bit closer to. Oh, that's the other thing I did. Talking about car, I did nothing to show yet, but I've got the Ferret for the reconnaissance group build. I did all the interior paint on that I can get to at the moment, or that's needed to be done. I've got at least probably I've got to do wheels, spray all them yet. They're all prepped up. That they haven't. I just ran out of time and space for doing the rest of it. But I did all the interior paint on her, and like wheels and tyres and that needs doing. Then she needs to be stuck together because it's literally halves haven't even been put together yet. But once she's all closed up and I put some foam in, because I'm going to leave hatches open, I will. I'll then do the outside, but I'll probably do an update. I didn't want to do an update at the moment because it's literally it's not a few painted bits, but the main parts aren't stuck together, if that makes sense, to make the main hull up, top sides and all the rest of it. That's got to be done next. So, but I want to just do I need to put a bit of varnish on, do a bit of weathering on the interior as well. So, but I'll get round to doing an update on that probably in about a week's time when I've got the model semi put together. So thank you very much. Look after yourselves. As I say, I've got to pull the trigger again, as if I've got any money on the go at the moment. But I got some. I won't shout about it now. But I've got another vintage figures coming in from Airfix, and it's not Napoleonic. I've got some of them coming in. Should be in the next couple of days. So. We'll have an unboxing of those. It's actually kits that I think they came in a bit later than when I'd stopped model. I'm not sure. You guys will have to shout it out. I never saw them as a kid. All the Napoleonic ones and the Bengal Lancer and all them, I remember as a kid, and I just they were a bit out. Not only were they out of my price range, they were, even as a kid I knew they were out my skill set. So I left it to the older people, but these ones I'd never seen before, so we'll take a look when they come in. I've got them at a bargain basement type of thing. Nobody was bidding on them, and I put a bid on and was obviously successful. So we'll have a look at them in the next day or two when they come in. Look after yourselves. More to come. We'll have a car update once I've got something to show physically on the car. It's like the Ferret, it's all in a million pieces at the moment, but once we've got the primer on, I might just do a quick update on that, a bit like this, shove a camera on and put it under the camera, only because I did a couple of glue stuff ups. I'm hoping to show that I've rectified them with the primer, or I could be crying my eyes out, we'll see. Anyway, look after yourselves, thanks for stopping by and taking a look, and we'll catch each other very soon on another video.